Hello again everyone, Mary Rose here at Stitch Bliss Corner, and it's raining outside today, which is really nice, and I like the rain. It brings the colour up in everything, and we have a tin roof too, so you know, when you're in bed and you can hear the rain on the roof, that's very nice. But I have discovered some videos on the internet for sound effects, and you can, you know, have a blizzard going, or be on a ship or at sea. You could be on a train with all the train noises. And one man in the comments said that he wanted a bed that would rock along with the train. Oh, that'd be pretty good. Oh dear. Anyway, so on with the stitching. Now, anyone who's been following along knows that I've already finished one petite, and that my husband Harlequin suggested that I do another one. So that's what I have been doing, and so I think it would be good. It's this one here by Sun Kim, Overlook Cafe, and I think we'll go now to the vlog. And then I'll catch up with you on the other side. End of day 15, Maynia, and this is the one that I've been working on, the second piece. There's the picture, and the area that I spoke about, that I was going to restitch. I have restitched it. Let me just look here, just in that area there. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm going to go off to bed rejoicing. Day 16, Maynia, and just my nightly update on this piece. And what I've done is concentrate on this area here. Now that is bare Ada there as per the chart, and it took every ounce of restraint for me not to put some pink in there. But I thought I'm going to wait until I have completed the piece as Dimensions wants it for Maynia, and I'll do my little bits and bobs after that. This little vase of flowers here, the shape of that reminds me, we've got a sweet or a lolly here called a freckle. Well, I don't even know if they still sell them actually. It's probably a product of the 60s. But anyway, and it was a little chocolate disc, and it had hundreds and thousands sprinkled on it. They were very nice actually. They've probably been banned for some reason now. Anyway, I shall catch up with you at the same time tomorrow evening. Day 16, and I've finished the urn there. I think I called it a vase yesterday. The urn at the entrance of the cafe, and the three little tables are all in. And I'm just doing this area here, working across. So everything's going quite swimmingly at the moment, and I shall catch up with you tomorrow, except for my juddering, of course. I'm sorry about that, but this is quite a heavy iPad. It's a bigger one, and you know, they are a bit unwieldy. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Maynia day 18. I said 16 yesterday. So I've got 16 2 days running. It should have been 17 yesterday. It must have been thinking about the freckles. But this is the end of day 18, and I've done all the, you know, whatever you would call that, esplanade, or the little pathway overlooking the sea. And I will just continue across probably here, and then I'll go up there probably and work across. So Yeah, I'll go across there later, but I think I'll finish the bottom bit and go upwards. But yeah, been fun so far. Catch you tomorrow. Day 19, and today I worked this area here, the water down there in this area. The needle seemed to have a mind of its own. I mean, I think there are stitches that know exactly what I mean. You start out with a certain intention in mind of where you're going to go, but the needle just ends up heading off where it wants to go. I mean, most novelists say when they write a book, they sit down and think they know what they're going to be writing, but then somehow or other the story takes off and goes in a different direction. So that's what's happened with the stitching today. But that's okay. My intention is to continue along this side here, fill that in, and then go up to the top and work across for the final part of it. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Maynia day 20. And it's chucking it down outside here, so the end of stitching. We're just about to head off to bed, and this area has been done today, and we will see how far I get tomorrow, because that will be the day before my update. So catch you then. End of day 20. And I will be catching up with you tomorrow for my update, so I shall talk about how far I've got with this piece tomorrow. Yeah, so that's where I got up to. So I just want to answer a few queries that I got before I go on to the stitching and give you the update. Someone did ask if, with my hoop, do I just use the single hand method or do I do a double hand method with the hoop, and if so, did I have any kind of holder? Well, I don't have a holder. Well, I sort of do, but it's not the traditional one. It's this one here. It's a bean bag, actually, for an iPad to sit on. But I can put that on my lap, and I can sit my stitching sit it on there, and then I can put my hand underneath it and do the two-handed method, which works quite well. But I usually don't, though. I usually just stitch with the one hand because it's what I like to do, and I think you get into the habit of what you like. But that is a method, and you don't need any fancy stands or anything like that. But I think the Lowry stand looks... If I was going to get one, I'd probably get one of those, because they look pretty handy and pretty easy to deal with. But I really don't use stands or anything. I just like to be close to my stitching, and I think sometimes some of these fancy stands and frames and things, they sort of get you a little bit further away from it. But it depends. I mean, some people really like them, and I can see why. Everybody has their own methods. Now, I think I did mention when I was doing the vlog about how sorry, I'm just fiddling here. That there looked like a freckle, which is a chocolate that we have here in this country. My son brought me home a bag of them. So I shall now show you just how much it resembles a freckle. think it looks just like it. But see, that's a freckle. See how it's got the chocolate on one side and the hundreds and thousands on the side. So I could just sit that on there, really, couldn't I? But yes, so that's what the freckle thing is all about, just in case anyone was wondering. And thank you to my son for doing that. Now, was there any other thing I had to say to you? I'm sorry, I don't want my freckles to go everywhere. That's better. Now then, what else have I got here? Yeah, so, now the backstitch method. Now, I was asked by someone about my outlining or the couching technique that I use rather than backstitch. And I have got a video about that, which Harlequin linked in the last video I did. But it's not very good. I mean, I was trying to do it looking through an iPad. So, of course, it's very difficult to stitch through something. It's like stitching through a magnifying glass without the magnification. But it was really just to get the idea across. And I think it sort of did that. It didn't claim to be a tutorial or anything like that. And there was a rather disparaging comment made, which the person was quite right. I mean, I did delete the comment, but in retrospect I should have left it there because she was perfectly justified. But anyway, it's gone now, so that's that. But I thought maybe I could just show you face to camera. It might be difficult, but between the two videos I'm sure you'll get the idea, because it's really very simple, even though I've managed to make it look quite complex at times, probably. So what I've got here is, I'm just thinking that I could just show you with this line of the building here, because that needs an outline on it, and I thought, well, I could just do that just to show you. And so what I'll do is I'll just check where that line starts. Right, so, and I'm not going to use the same colour that they suggest. They suggest brown, but I'm just going to use black, just so it'll show up better for you. So what I do is I go to the back there, and I usually just loop it. I do a loop start at the back. That's the way to get started. So you do your loop start at the back, right, and then you bring it through. I'll just bring that through. You see that's come through, that two threads have come through, okay? Now this line goes right down to there. It goes right down to that section there. Now, where those stitches start. So I've got two threads there at the moment. What I do is I bring that thread down, and I've put it at the end place where your back stitching would have ended, which is there. So then I just bring it through anywhere, just down here somewhere, right? And then I take the needle off. Then I just pick up one of the threads. I mean, I don't always do it this way, it's just whichever way appeals to you at the time. Right, so one of those threads now is taken out, and the other one is the line that we're putting in, that would have been back stitched, okay? So now this thread I will put on the needle. I'm taking that thread through to the other side, to this side here, okay? So we have one side, one thread on here, and the other one I've got on my needle at the back here. Now, this is the fun part. You find a hole in the Ada where you want to put your hole. Now you can put your stitch, you can put it anywhere along here, but I'll probably do about 4 down, and I'll bring the needle up through the hole. So just hang on a tick while I just do that. You can see the needle there, right? That's come up. Now you can see it's come up through the hole. Now what you need to do is, see, with traditional couching you have your thread on the top and you sort of do quite a large stitch over the top to hold it. But what we're trying to do is to minimize the disturbance to that top thread. So what you're doing is putting the thread, your top thread, over the top and looping. You're looping that thread. Right? Then you just do the same thing again. So I'll just bring it up about 4 stitches down, or 4 squares down. Bringing it out, right? Then there's your top thread. You can roll it across a bit if you want to. And then you're looping it. See, it's really hard to do it on the thing. Right, you looped it, bring it through, and that holds it again. And you can pull on this to keep your tension right. And then I'll just do another one down here. Needle's coming through. There's your top thread. And then straight back in the same hole. And I just think it gives a much more natural look. And it looks pretty good. And that saves so much time, as you can imagine. And of course, if you're going around, you know, a curved piece, you can curve your top thread that you're looping. You can just curve it round the shape, which is what I've got in my video, if you can take it, you know. You can watch. But anyway, so that is the couching method. So I hope that was of some help to you. Of course, the other end, this part here, well, you just secure that at the back, or you can go to the next thing you need outlining and just use it again without snipping it off. You can just go to the next part that needs outlining, and so on and so forth. So that's the couching anyway. It's simplicity itself, and it does save an awful lot of time. I hope that was clear enough for you. It's very difficult on the internet, as you can imagine. But anyway, so there I am as far as my stitching goes. I've only got this area here to go. So what I'm thinking is that I will just do a wrap up of Maynia once I've got that done, because I've still got to do the couching on that to finish it, so that'll be this week sometime. And then once I've done that, I will probably just do a quick wrap up, and then I will just spend a few days getting the handy hints together while it's still fresh in my mind. Because the mind, what is it, the eye has to travel, or that my mind travels as well, not just my eyes. So I think that's all I had to tell you this time. Happy stitching. Thank you for all the people that put comments into me and tell me how they're going with their stitching and all the rest of it. As I say, I'm quite looking forward to this handy hints actually, because I was looking at one of these petite charts and it's a shocker. It really is a shocker, until it gets the Mary Rose treatment and I'll beat it into submission. So anyway, all the best to you this week coming, and I shall see you once I've finished my little piece here. So happy stitching, everybody. Bye for now.